Tornado Tag Team match. The Powerhouse Highlands Country Roy Shibata take on the unlikely duo of Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. And we will hear from the TNT champion, Mark Briscoe, here tonight. And action in the Continental Classic Gold League continues. Kyle Fletcher sits atop the table with 6 points. Speedball Mike Bailey looking for his first points here tonight. Plus also in Gold League action, Kazuchika Okada, the AEW Unified Champion, will take on Jack Perry, filling in for Darby Allin in the Continental Classic. But right now, new champions will be crowned in All Elite Wrestling. The AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament concludes. The Babes of Wrath versus the Timeless Love Bombs.
AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. Introduce first, Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa, Timeless Love Bomb.
Brian, it was a long road for Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa to get here. Rio and Alex Windsor in the opening round. Megan Bayne, Marina Shafir, the wild hardcore holiday death match last week. Now here they are in the finals, but are they 100%?
Yeah, I mean, they had to take some calculated risks to get here, but they paid off. Never underestimate the strategic mind of Toni Storm. They've done a great job getting here.
I think a couple of numbers come to mind here. Toni Storm, this singles competition, but she's 5-0 combined with Willow and Harley. Never lost to them in singles. We'll see how it plays out tonight, Excalibur.
Opponents, Willow Nightingale, Harley and Cameron, Babes of Wrath.
Well, Tony, despite Willow Nightingale's singles track record, she and Harley Cameron, definitely the underdogs coming into this tournament. They drew Athena, Mercedes Moné in the opening round, then had to face the Sisters of Sin in the semifinals. An unlikely story for these two to make it to the finals.
Well, Excalibur, I think that opening round match against Athena and Mercedes when they won really gave them some momentum. No one really thought that the Babes of Wrath would win that match. They did, and I think it really has propelled them all the way here now.
We see Aubrey Edwards raising AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship titles high. We will have a winner. We will have new champions here tonight as we kick off this massive Winter is Coming broadcast live from Atlanta. Wall-to-wall action here tonight on CBS and HBO Max.
Exciting time to be a fan of AEW. Exciting week for us. As you said, one of the biggest weeks ever in AEW TV, and it starts tonight.
Mina Shirakawa, Harley Cameron starting things off for their respective sides. Mina with the experience edge, but Harley, Brian, has been wrestling well above her experience as of late.
She's been wrestling fantastic, especially in this tournament. It seems like Willow Nightingale has brought out a newfound confidence in Harley Cameron.
Mina puts on the brakes. Little shimmy from Mina Shirakawa. Now Harley Cameron rolling over. Goes behind and now takes the side headlock.
That shimmy is just really for confidence and nothing else. Look at Harley.
Harley posting up in the corner, slipping through, and now rolls Mina through. And well,
so how do you call that one, Excalibur?
that was something that Brian did to me in a Ukrainian hall in Detroit about 20 years ago.
Wow.
Kick to the midsection from Mina Shirakawa, slowing the pace down. Now hammer throw into the ropes. Harley ducks underneath the lariat and comes through. Harley driving Mina Shirakawa down face first. Mina looking for a tag. Willow gets the tag from Harley. And now Toni Storm, Willow Nightingale.
No doubt. Two of the greats in AEW in the women's division.
And the two veterans for their respective sides, Brian.
Yeah, and arguably two of the most popular women here in AEW.
Right.
Side headlock applied by Will Nightingale. You can hear the 50-50 split between the raucous crowd here in Atlanta.
Doesn't take much to get the dander up, so to speak, for Timeless Toni Storm. She has a very short fuse, if you will.
Four-time AEW Women's World Champion, Timeless Toni Storm. A woman who, without a championship title to her name, seems somewhat lost as Harley Cameron trying to separate Toni and Willow. Now Mina and Harley. Things just breaking down here to a hockey fight. Reversal there by the Timeless Love Bombs. Babes, sidestep, and Harley. Pair of boots, one for each, Toni and Mina.
Look at Harley go down on the floor after him. How about that aggression, Brian?
Yeah, Harley did a great job going and holding Mina and Toni Storm so that Willow could dive onto them. I mean, the Babes of Wrath have exhibited great teamwork during this tournament.
Yeah, and it's showing really here. They're just as smooth as ever.
They certainly have. I think that teamwork is what allowed them to pick up that upset victory in the first round against two highly decorated champions. As Harley now the cover. Toni Storm the kick out. You think Mercedes Moné, the longest reigning TBS champion of all time, and Athena, the longest reigning Ring of Honor Women's World Champion by multiple country miles, as you would say, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And now, Harley, the only lady in there without a belt on her resume.
Harley, a shot to the face from Mina Shirakawa, and a backbreaker by Timeless Toni Storm.
Yeah, so don't you think, Brian, this would be the lady, Harley, probably the least experienced of all four, the lady that the Timeless Love Bombs need to work on?
I agree, Tony, and I think they're doing a great job of that. You saw her inexperience come, and especially when in tag matches, they were able to knee her in the back when she was hitting the ropes, giving Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa the advantage. I think this is a smart strategy by them.
Quick tags in and out by the Love Bombs, and now Toni Storm sets up for the body press. 1, 2, and Harley able to kick out. The momentum firmly in the corner of the Timeless Love Bombs. Harley, they'll try to use those long limbs, the reach to get the tag to Willow, but the standing switch ducks underneath. Now Harley, back suplex.
Great counter from Harley.
Door open, the tag made to Willow Nightingale. Former TBS champion Willow Nightingale takes down Mina twice, takes down Toni Storm once. Now, overhand shots.
How about this?
Willow playing her own game of ping pong with the Timeless Love Bombs. But Mina, swift shot to the midsection, double hammer throw into the ropes. Willow breaks through the lariat, attempt and takes both members of the opposition down.
Willow gets some momentum going off the ropes. It's trouble.
Sends Toni Storm to the floor in our opening contest to crown the inaugural AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions continues.
Well, right now it's kind of one-on-one. Timeless Toni Storm in front of our broadcast position here on the other side.
And Willow with Mina Shirakawa isolated inside the ring. Rapid fire clotheslines in the corner. Drives Mina out to center, takes her down. 2. And Mina able to kick out. Brian, the Love Bombs did a good job cutting the ring in half, isolating Harley Cameron, but now it seems the Babes of Wrath playing out of that same playbook.
I would disagree a little bit. They let Mina get close to her corner right there and whipping her off the ropes. I thought the Timeless Love Bombs did a better job. Did a better job of isolating Harley when they had her. Unfortunately, unfortunately for the Timeless Love Bombs, Harley was able to counter Mina Shirakawa and hit that great back suplex. Be able to tag into Willow. Willow in this match so far has been a real difference maker.
Well, that's because of her power as much as anything else. A lot of force, a lot of might in everything that she does. And Harley getting into it as well.
Powerful slam delivered by Willow Nightingale. Near leg is hooked. Mina Shirakawa kicking out. Willow controlling the pace here, and so many big stories tonight on Winter is Coming. One of them that developed this past Saturday on Collision was Jack Perry filling in for Darby Allin, stepping up to take Darby Allin's place in the tournament. And Darby, he laid it out on Collision. These two men are not friends, but Darby said if Jack's going to inherit Darby's spot, wait, cover here, roll up. If Jack is going to inherit Darby's spot, Darby is going to be pulling for Jack Perry throughout the tournament. He wants him to go win this whole thing.
I think that's a good and bad thing. It's good to see Jungle Jack Perry in the tournament. Certainly bad to see that Darby Allin is out of it. But, of course, Jungle Jackson will start with 0 points.
1, 2, and whoa! As Willow dizzying up Mina Shirakawa, getting her in that pinning predicament.
And wearing her out. You know, having to kick out of those repeated pinfall attempts is a great job by Willow.
Yeah, depletes the opponent's gas tank every time they kick out, just little by little. As Harley now coming in. The knee strike, cover the high stack, and Mina use all her power to kick out of that one. Now Harley trying to wind out Mina, deplete that gas tank even further. Who will leave Winners Coming as the first ever AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions? Will it be the Timeless Love Bombs, or will it be the Babes of Wrath? Harley Cameron and Will Nightingale have had the upper hand over the last few moments and seem to be maintaining the momentum here in our opening contest tonight.
Absolutely, and we are going to, as you said, Excalibur, have new champions crowned here tonight, and we are just getting started. So many great champions throughout the years in AEW. New champions on the horizon here tonight.
Mina Shirakawa turns things around on Willow, the DDT off the ropes. So remember, we could have a new champion crowned in our main event.
Sure, absolutely.
Samoa Joe, Eddie Kingston for the AEW Men's World Championship. But right now, Tony Storm, legal for the love bombs and Mongolian chops delivered after the drop kicks. Meeting the minds there for Harley and Willow. And now Tony Storm going to work. DDT.
Tony Storm is just so talented.
Such a difference maker, Brian, as soon as she tagged in, and now could be looking for the chicken wing.
She has an excellent cross-faced chicken wing. She needs to get Harley Cameron's arm behind her back a little bit more. Willow coming in for the save.
It's a great move by Willow to get that save, because if that chicken wing would have been on, it could have been over.
Double hammer throw, reversed by Mina Shirakawa. Boot for Harley, shot for Willow. Now Mina, Cazadora, rolls through, steps through. She likes the figure 4 from this position, and now DDT on Willow, and wrenching the knees of Harley.
Great double team move by Mina Shirakawa, and you can see the damage on Harley Cameron's leg.
Mina now looking to execute that figure 4. Turns the corner. As the legs hooked over the knee, and Harley Cameron in deep water here. Mina Shirakawa has Harley anchored in the center of the ring. Harley doing a good job, though, reversing things on Mina. But Tony Storm intervenes. And now Willow brings Mina over. Turnabout's fair play. Willow and, oh no, wait, Willow sweeps out the leg. And now Willow's turn.
Oh, Indian deathlock.
Well, the attempt, at least.
Yeah, I think Willow needs to get Harley Cameron out of that figure 4.
I agree.
Willow, she's battering Tony, battering Mina. And remember, yeah, Harley, to your point, Brian, if Harley tapped out, that would have been it. Willow and Tony were not the legal competitors. As things breaking down here tonight, the first night of Winter is Coming. Remember, Winter is Coming Collision comes your way this Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific, coast-to-coast broadcast on TNT and HBO Max for Collision. Winter is Coming this Saturday. Early start time.
What a week, and so much history on the line here. Many people can be the champs, many teams throughout the years, but there will only be one first-time champion, and we're going to see it here tonight. So much on the line, and you hear the chant from the fans.
This is as high stakes as it gets. I mean, both teams, you just see them just brawling. You can see how important it is to these women to be the first ever AEW Women's Tag Team Champions.
Opposite corners, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale have the timeless love bombs up, but Toni Storm slips through Willow's guard, and now Harley didn't realize it was coming as Toni Storm has Harley held up. Mina coming off the top with the sling blade, and Toni Storm, zero. Is that going to be it? 1, 2, no! Willow, the senton to break up the pinning predicament.
That whole sequence made available by Toni Storm would have had the win if not for Willow Nightingale.
Willow blocks the DDT on the floor. And lands the suplex, perhaps neutralizing Toni Storm, at least for a moment. Now Mina Shirakawa, whether she realizes it or not, maybe fighting at a disadvantage, Brian.
Yeah, it sure seems like it. Toni Storm seems down. Now Mina's going toe-to-toe with Harley Cameron. Big rolling elbow to the back.
Roundhouse kick, it missed. But the second time, kick to the spine. Mina looking for that back fist. It connects. Remember, Harley Cameron earlier this year, she had that nose broken, requiring surgery, facial surgery, so that spinning back fist could have done serious damage, but instead, the glorious driver Mina could be coming up for Harley Cameron. We could see new champions crowned. Harley slips behind.
Oh! That's her finishing move! But she makes a tag!
As Willow the Babe with the power bomb! 1, 2, 3, oh my God!
First ever AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, Babes of Wrath.
Underdogs no more. They are the first ever AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron.
Gentlemen, this is a shocker, don't you think so, Brian? I mean, these, like you said, underdogs no more. Excalibur.
I hate to call it an actual shocker because they've been shocking us in every round of this tournament. But yeah, I was shocked for sure.
Well, let's head to the ring, and Renee Paquette standing by with the inaugural champions.
Babes of Wrath, the Babes of Wrath did it. They made history here tonight. Ladies, a huge congratulations. This is incredible. Harley Cameron, this is the first championship you have won here in AEW. Can you guys put into any words for me what it means to be our first ever AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions?
First feeling tired. That was a hard fight. Harley's mouth is all bloody. It's not just lipstick, folks. But I'm proud of myself, of course, but I'm so proud of Harley Cameron. And it's been a rough year of me not knowing who's there for me and who's not. And she is so great. She has been. She has been, in here and out. Willow and I first met in the ring on my second ever match, and I can't believe I'm next to you today and that we are the first ever All Elite Women Tag Team Champions.
Congratulations, ladies. What are we? Babes! And what do we have? Wrath! Babes of Wrath! Babes of Wrath! Babes of Wrath!
Oh, the Babes of Wrath. Kicking Dynamite Winter is coming Oh, wait a second. Tony and Mina extending the hands and the embrace from the other tournament finalists.
Well done, women. Well done, all of you.
But Harley Cameron, Willow Nightingale, kicking our broadcast off, kicking this huge week of action off as the inaugural AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. But speaking of tag team action, a huge tornado tag team match tonight. The Ops, Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, taking on a team that will join forces for the first time ever. The unlikely duo of Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. And then our main event tonight, Eddie Kingston will challenge Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. A big night for the Ops. Let's hear from them and Samoa Joe right now.
Hello, Eddie. Congratulations. Because your time has come. After weeks of asking, now you'll receive. You see, Eddie, you wanted the real Samoa Joe, the man that you looked up to, the crusader of the independents, the person whose footsteps you followed in, Eddie. What you don't realize, Eddie, is that man has been standing in front of you the entire time. Eddie, this is the real me. Eddie, I am ruthless by design. Eddie, I do not care about men like you because you're in the way of what I have. Eddie, the man that you looked up to, it was a wonderful idea. But the man that's gonna beat your ass tonight, oh, Eddie, this is the man who's gonna show you the reality of what this industry is.
Damn. Okay, I am feeling alive. Synapses are firing, electric sparks are sparking in my fingertips. Circumstances aren't ideal. My back is increasingly against the wall in this Continental Classic. Time is running out. But I have proven over and over again, if there is one grain of sand left in the hourglass, I can still score. And I can score big, so go ahead and count me out. Go ahead. If you need circumstances to be ideal to try, maybe you just suck. You know, people pay money for this. You know, take some pride in your work. I have to try. For them, for them. There's a principle that we believe in. If they are not willing to work, let them not eat. We're the hungriest group of individuals in professional wrestling. That's why we are the hardest working group of individuals in professional wrestling. We're chasing the dragon every single day.
And every day when we wake up, we choose to win. And that's why we are the hungriest. That's why we are the hardest working. That's why we try. A lot of people, you think it's too cool to try. That's lame. I'm telling you right now. And if you want something, you have to go take it. And that's what we're going to do every single time.
Daniel Garcia, he'll be challenging Mark Briscoe for that TNT Championship this Saturday at Collision. Winter is coming, but Moxley, even by his own admission, back increasingly against the wall. But right now, let's head to the ring. The Dappy Amber, Justin Roberts.
This is a Gold League match in the Continental Classic set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. From Los Angeles, California, weighing 190 pounds, Jungle Jack Perry.
Jack Perry stepping into the Continental Classic. Less than ideal circumstances for him. 4 matches remaining. Let's head to Renee Paquette for additional insight.
Jack Perry is certainly feeling the weight of this moment. This is his first match of the tournament as he steps in to replace an out-of-action opposition, Darby Allin, while also absorbing his points, which is 0. Tonight, Jack stands across the ring from the best tournament wrestler of our time. Kazuchika Okada is the measuring stick of greatness and in-ring ability. Jack said that he is ready to soak up this moment tonight, all bearing in mind Jack Perry has not had a singles match in over a year.
Jack Perry throwing his jacket into the face of Don Callis, our broadcast partner for this match.
From Aichi, Japan, weighing 236 pounds, he is the AEW Unified Champion, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada!
Unified Champion, the AEW International Champion, AEW Continental Champion, but only wearing that International Championship to the ring. He surrendered the Continental Championship. And as this is a Continental Championship group stage match, there is a 20-minute time limit. Absolutely no interference. 3 points in the event of a victory. 1 point for each man in the event of a draw. 0 points for a loss. And Don Callis joining us here at the desk, not in a management capacity, we might add, because of the no outside interference stipulation as an announcer, Don.
I'm here as a broadcast journalist to make sure you guys call it down the middle.
I would say joining us as a highly partisan announcer here tonight.
We always call
Highly
it down
skilled.
the middle, especially Brian Danielson does.
I do my best, Tony.
Thank you very much. I know you do, Brian.
Jack Perry coming out of the gates hot. Just
Great
charging.
strategy by Jack Perry. You know, this is his first singles match in over a year. He's in there with the greatest tournament wrestler of all time. I think that's a great plan.
Yeah, Jack has been competing primarily in tag team matches since his return to action here in AEW. Coming into a singles match, let alone a singles match in a tournament like this. Wow. Is a horse of a different color. Jack coming out of the gates hot, and you have to imagine, Don, some residual anger, not just Jack trying to come out hot against Okada, but anger because of what you have done to his friends, to Jack's friends in the Elite.
Listen, Jack Perry's a smart guy. He understands that the wrestling business is not about making friends, it's about making money. So I disagree with your dissertation there on the Young Bucks.
It's nothing wrong with making friends while you make money, Don.
There's no money in making friends. Friends cost you money, Shivani.
Jack comes out huge. Drop kick here tonight. Remember, it was Darby Allin. He announced that this past Saturday at Collision, he was not cleared to compete in the rest of the Continental Classic. Jack Perry stepping into Darby's spot, inheriting his score, 0 points in one match. As Jack Perry looks for the cover, the far leg is hooked. That means Jack Perry has 4 tournament matches in the group stage to try to make it to the semifinals. And the semifinals, the Gold League and Blue League, will take place at World's End Saturday, December 27th, Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois. You can join us, AEWTIX.com, to see the semifinal round matches and the finals of the 2025 Continental Classic.
What an incredible month December has become for AEW. And wow, look at this. Jack on top.
Jack comes off the elbow strike. 1, 2.
You know, the Don Callis family loves 20-something highly skilled, highly marketable athletes, and that's what I see, Brian Danielson, when I look at Jack Perry. What a stud this kid is on every level.
Yeah, he is a stud, Don. I agree. And he's really taking it to Okada. I'm really surprised, actually. You know, Okada typically likes to start his matches slow, and here's Jack Perry just taking it to him.
Okada slips underneath and lands the drop.
Oh, my goodness.
To the floor. One of the camera grips ended up catching Perry on the way down, but Jack holding on to that ankle. That could be a disastrous proposition for Jack Perry.
Jack let his emotions get the better of him, trying to give Okada the finger, let Okada slip out, and we saw the result.
Well, listen, this is emotional business, as you know. Let's take a look once again, Brian. Look at this.
Tony, you talked about it being an emotional business. I think that's one of the reasons why Okada's so successful. He leaves the emotions out of it.
Thank you, Brian. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Guess it was all business last week when Okada landed the Rainmaker on Matt Jackson. That $1 million that you brought to the ring. Where
You mean my $1 million?
I think the Young Bucks had a part of that $1 million as well.
A big part of it.
Possession is 9/10 of the law, as they say.
With that stupid cliche.
Okada sends Jack Perry over to the barricade. And Perry, as you mentioned, at a disadvantage. Everybody comes into the Continental Classic, at least at the start of the tournament, Brian, with a maximum of 15 possible points. Jack comes into the tournament a maximum of 12 possible points.
Yeah, they often say life's not fair. It's often about time and place. But in the case of Jack Perry, he wasn't supposed to even be here.
Okada lands that DDT. Perry is in trouble as this Gold League contest in the 2025 Continental Classic continues. Don't go anywhere.
That DDT on the floor on top of Jack Perry's leg. It looks like being damaged. He's in a bad situation right now.
Yep. Jack's bell was rung by that DDT most certainly, but he keeps going back to gripping at that leg, trying to work out some sort of damage done to his ankle. You see, trying to punch that leg, trying to get some feeling back perhaps.
Oh. Jack Perry is a tough kid, you know. Sometimes you see a kid that's that good looking, that talented, and also to have that fighting spirit, to be as tough as he is, I think it's very impressive.
Jack, a former AEW World Tag Team Champion and TNT Champion, now covered two.
And that one by Okada was more just to send a message, I believe, Mr. Danielson.
They could have been. I'm shocked Okada's not going after that leg, going after that ankle.
Yeah, and I agree, because no one has, I think, the aptitude for pro wrestling that Okada does.
Well, Brian, could it be a breaking case of emergency for Okada? He's going to wrestle this match under the game plan he came into it, and if he needs to, he can go after the ankle.
That's a great point. That could be exactly what he's doing. I mean, he's smart. He's composed. He knows that people can recover from short-term injuries quickly, especially an athlete the caliber of Jack Perry.
Don, before matches, do you have strategy sessions, or are you just here afterwards to collect a paycheck? Just a question. You can answer it.
What kind of question? That's not a question. That's a statement by you trying to bury me. Strategy sessions. My life is one big strategy
Cover
session.
here, lateral press, two.
Everything that we do is done with purpose, it's done with intent, and it's done with months of planning.
Even that lackadaisical cover by Okada?
Correct. We're sending a message to this little rugrat kid here.
The rugrat kid who you're just complimenting is having matinee idol looks and being tough and rough and tumble. See, you don't need Tony to bury you. You bury yourself. Okada shutting down Perry, though. Cocky cover here by the Rainmaker. Our first Gold League action of the evening in the 2025 Continental Classic. Kazuchika Okada looking to make it 6 points on the board here tonight. Jack Perry filling in for the injured Darby Allin, inheriting Darby's 0 points. So Jack under the gun here, under pressure to pick up his first 3 points in the tournament.
As I was just saying earlier, I think Jack Perry is a tremendous young fighting spirit kind of a wrestler that really brings it every time he's out here. I think he's great.
Don Callis, the walking contradiction, among other things. And there you see the standings at the bottom of the screen. Then the Gold League, Kyle Fletcher of the Don Callis family sits atop the Gold League table with 6 points. Okada with 3. As he is, Okada now getting the better of Jack Perry in that striking exchange. And to be expected, Brian.
I'm not sure Jack Perry wants to get into a strike battle with Okada. I mean, he's just destroying him here. Jack Perry needs to use his quickness.
Yeah, Brian, he does not want to get into a striking battle. You were right. Oh, you see the Blue League standings as well.
Claudio and Konosuke Takeshita tied at the top of the Blue League table with 6 points. Moxley rapidly closing in a must-win territory for him. He wants to keep his hopes alive in the tournament. As now Aubrey Edwards giving a 10 count to both Kazuchika Okada.
And Okada is going to use every second of this Excalibur because he's smart. He understands how to use the clock to his advantage.
But he's also giving Jack Perry time to recover as well. I think Jack Perry had taken more damage. I think it would have been smarter for Okada to attack.
Hammer throw into the corner, reverse Jack. Leaps over Okada. No way! German suplex!
That was tremendous.
Wow!
Now he needs to try to follow it up, and here he comes. Here comes Jack.
Great snap in those hips. This kid's an athlete, to be sure.
Jack riding a wave of momentum as we take another look at the action. And meanwhile, back in live action, Jack lands the DDT. Near leg is covered, and near leg is hooked. The cover was made. Only a 2 count for Perry.
I think Jack adapted very, very well because really he missed on the corner that time, fell down, and still was able to do that over-the-top suplex.
Remember the Continental Classic matches, all 20-minute time limit. No outside interference, 3 points for a win, 1 point for each man in the event of a draw as Okada, the neck breaker on Perry. Here you see the bottom of the screen. We'll be in Cardiff this Saturday for Collision Winners coming 1 week from tonight. Manchester, then New York City, back-to-back nights, December 20th and 21st. And then Worlds and Saturday, December 27th, Chicago, AEW TIX.com as Kazuchika Okada to the top. Elbow drop on target.
Might have broke his ribs there, Brian.
That is a tremendous, I think you're the best elbow drop in the business by far.
That's the
Say
elbow
that
drop.
again, Shivani. I'd love to hear you say that again. That's fantastic.
That's the elbow drop that broke my arm. I wouldn't disagree with that being the best elbow drop in the business.
Now Okada bringing Perry to an upright position. Look for the Rainmaker. No, Perry behind. Poison Rana avoided. Drop kick.
Oh, my God. Right in the
avoided.
face.
Jack's so evasive, couldn't evade that one, though.
All right, half the clock has elapsed in this Gold League matchup. Stage action. Reverse hook on Rana from Jack Perry.
Jack Perry's got the Rainmaker scouted well here.
And Perry looking for that running knee strike. He finds it. 1, 2, no!
Well, Jack Perry is showing us something here tonight, showing the world.
Brian, for a man wrestling his first singles match in nearly 13 months, Jack Perry is standing toe-to-toe with the greatest tournament wrestler of all time.
I'm incredibly impressed. I mean, there's a lesson here about being prepared for anything as a pro wrestler. 1 week ago, Jack Perry was focused on the reunion of the Jurassic Express and his rivalry with the Don Callis family, and now here he is taking the best tournament wrestler of all time.
Looking for the snare trap, and Okada, though, biting the hand, much like Jack Perry bit the finger of Kazuchika Okada. Jack forced to abandon ship there.
That's a great way to get out of it. Got to give it to Okada on that.
Great receipt, too.
Okada looking for a tombstone pile driver here. And,
what's he doing? Oh, he bit him in the crotch.
Yeah, what's good for the goose?
That's ridiculous.
Find him in the crotch again.
1, 2, oh! And now Jack, the snare trap is in.
Hell, this one's overtime.
Come on.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Brian, a very unorthodox escape from that tombstone pile driver, but now the snare trap.
She should be checking for the choke. The choke. Oh, my God.
Okada was on the verge of tapping. The desperate crawl made to the ropes, and
look at this, smart by Okada.
And Okada still feeling the effects of that inventive escape by Jack Perry.
Yeah, you call it that, I call that assault.
Okada was poised to pick up that chair. Jack Perry, he knows he can't afford to get disqualified. He can't afford to drop points in this Continental Classic.
Jack Perry's a hothead, we all know that.
Jack trying to hoist up Okada, but Okada hammers down. Now Okada, back slice, rolls through, maintains with boom, control.
Oh, wait, he's not done here. He's still holding on here, Brian. Look at this.
Gonna punish him.
The wrist isn't the only thing that Okada's holding on to now. Bringing Jack Perry back upright, looking for a second Rainmaker. Jack Perry hangs on.
Big mistake by Okada.
And Perry lined up, poised to deliver yet another knee, but Okada.
Wow.
Oh!
Wow.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
AEW Unified Champion, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada.
Let's take a look at the updated standings. Kazuchika Okada joins Kyle Fletcher tied at the top of the Gold League table. But crucially, Okada, 3 matches wrestled to gain 6 points. Fletcher, just 2 matches to gain 6 points. Fletcher with the possibility, the potential to move up to 9 later on tonight, Tony.
Yeah, you got to give credit to the Don Callis family. They're in charge here of the standings in the Gold League.
Kazuchika Okada victorious over Jack Perry here tonight, now calling out the other members.
Welcome to the
of
party,
the
boys.
Don
Come
Callis
on
family.
in.
And somebody, why did they give Don Callis a microphone? Why do we do this, Tony?
I have no idea. He grabs it off the table.
I have something important to say. Get him up. It's okay, it's okay. Guys. This kid's a businessman. Stand him up. Yep, get him up. Jack, that was a fantastic wrestling match. That's the toughest match I've seen Okada have in a long time. Jack, there's no shame in losing that match. I just want to say that. I got a lot of respect for you. And watching that match, Jack, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I gave the Bucks $1 million, or tried to. But after watching your performance tonight, I kind of think maybe I tried to give that money to the wrong talent. Because, Jack, what I'd like to propose to you, you've always been a great talent. You've got it all, but you lack focus and you lack direction. You lack a team of athletes around you to support you. So, Jack, I am offering you a spot in the Don Callis family. But even more than that, I am prepared to grant you a one-time only signing bonus, which I will pay to you out of the Young Bucks money. Jack, this is a great offer. We need an answer. It's a great offer. And Jack, in case that's not enough for you, I mean, I gotta ask, like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Someone's handing you the best opportunity of your life. Jack, I need an answer. Jack, remember one thing. There's 7 of us, and there's 1 of you. If you don't give me an answer, I'm gonna cut your strings and put you in a chair.
Don, I have your answer. And it looks like, for the second time tonight, I might bite off a little more than I can chew.
Oh, Jack Perry!
Go get him, Jack!
Just diving into the fray, as ill-advised as it may be. Trying to take on the Callis family. 7-on-1. But Jack,
Bring in the dinosaur!
the reinforcements, Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus calculating the odds as well. But wait a second. Not the only reinforcements for Jack Perry.
It was a diversion.
Matt and Nick Jackson, chairs in hand, wiping out the Don Callis family as Callis scurries for the hills. And Luchasaurus chokeslam for Clone, chokeslam for Hechicero. And Okada.
And Okada begging them for forgiveness. And they're going to give him none.
BT trigger for Okada. A week after he wiped out the Young Bucks. Don Callis finding himself between a rock and a hard place. And
hand off the money.
Trying to pay off the Young Bucks. And wait a second, in comes Takeshita. Oh, Takeshita just took a bullet, so to speak, and took a super kick for Don Callis. And a Rocky Romero gets planted by Luchasaurus. And look at the rest of the Callis family trying to usher Don to safety, protecting Don Callis with their bodies.
Well, Don should have stayed out of the ring. That's what he gets. I love to see these guys standing strong in the ring.
Well, the Bucks, a timely intervention and some much-needed financial injection for Matt and Nick Jackson here tonight. But our cameras backstage taking a look at the celebration, the conglomeration alongside the Babes of Wrath, the newly crowned AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. The celebration ongoing as our broadcast continues here on TBS and Max's. Oh, the Timeless Love Bomb's getting involved, but right now let's take a look at Mercedes Moné and her band Beats.
Unfortunately for you, your downfall starts at Full Gear.
We have not seen you since Full Gear when you were unsuccessful in your match against
13 belts, Ultimo Moné. Does that sound unsuccessful to you?
Red Velvet looks to pry away one of the 13 championship belts. Unbelievable! I believe it. Tonight, 13 goes to 12.
Get the out of my face.
You can just tell her facial reactions, how angry she is.
Oh, good God!
Still the greatest TBS champion of all time! I am a global wrestling icon.
Where does Moné go from here?
Eddie Kingston, tonight you are in the main event going for the AEW World Championship against Samoa Joe. I feel like this is the moment we have all been waiting for since you came back to AEW. How are you feeling heading into this match?
Nervous. You know, it's good to have fear. It keeps you on your toes. But what I've been really thinking about is the fact that the GOAT of pro wrestling, Terry Funk, today's the anniversary, the 50th anniversary of when he won the World's Championship. And I'm just hoping I make Terry proud. I know he's watching. You know, I hope my mom and dad are watching. See, now we're getting too emotional. Look.
I feel like you've been emotional coming into this, though, Eddie.
Well, because you don't know how many times you're going to have a shot. I'm already 0-2 in world title matches. You just don't know. I'm trying to be real cool about this because I really want to crash out right now because I just want to get warmed up and stuff. But I got respect for you. Look, Joe, I know you're watching. I know you're warming up, stretching, all that good jazz, right, with all your homies and with Hook. You're going to have the fight of your life, dog. I ain't going down easy, huh?
Eddie Kingston gets his shot tonight, live here on TBS, and winner is coming. But right now, fans, let's bring in the new TNT champion, Mark Briscoe.
Reach for the sky, boy.
Brian, despite the fact that it came in November, Mark Briscoe winning the TNT Championship last month at Full Gear, truly one of the feel-good moments of 2025.
It was incredible, and especially the match itself, defeating Kyle Fletcher for the TNT Championship, and then just raising it up, raising that title up. I've known Mark for a long time, and he did that for his family, and it was an incredible moment.
And this Saturday, Collision winner is coming. The early start time, 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific, coast to coast. TNT Championship match. Let's get back to the ring and Tony Schiavone.
That's right. Early start on Saturday on TNT. Winner is coming from Cardiff, Wales. You will defend the TNT Championship against Danny Garcia of the Death Riders, Mark.
Yes, sir, Tony Schiavone. You know, it wasn't that long ago that certain individuals was saying Mark Briscoe can't get it done. They were saying Mark Briscoe can't win the big one. He will never be a champion. Well, I know that the haters are still out there, Tony, but tonight we're here in front of the fine folks of Atlanta, Georgia, baby. And I got this nice little piece of shiny hardware right here. So what's that tell you, Tony Schiavone?
Tells me you're the champion, brother.
Now, the doubters, I know they're still out there, but I would just like to respectfully give them a very clear and concise message, and that is that y'all can kiss my big white ass. Now.
To be clear, Brian, it's big because of the beans and cornbread.
That's absolutely true.
That's what I like. Now, it's one thing to become a champion, but it's a whole nother thing to reign and defend and to stay a champion. So it all starts Saturday afternoon on TNT. I'm going to be defending my title against Danny Garcia and Cardiff, Wales.
All right, Mark, let me stop you there before you keep embarrassing yourself, man.
Well, that nasally, whiny drone could belong to only one man.
I mean, Mark, come on. You are the epitome of low-hanging fruit, man. I mean, you want to be the face of TNT, right? Well, your face has less teeth in it than you have children.
As Wheeler Yuta alongside Danny Garcia and Marina Shafir.
We don't just call you chicken because you're a coward. We also call you chicken because, well, you have the mental capacity of one of the chickens you farm.
Hey, Yuta, that was a good one, man. I'm not going to lie to you. And I got a lot of mean, hurtful things that I could probably say about Mark, too. But I'm not going to say nothing. Because honestly, Mark, I feel kind of bad for you, man. I'm looking at you up and down, face to face, and everything about you is just kind of sad. Hey, but what's gonna be even more sad is when I beat you on Saturday, I become a two-time TNT champion, and you have to figure out how to provide for your family with a broken leg.
Now, Danny boy, Saturday, you got an ass whooping coming your way, son. But tonight, right here, right now, we just so happen to be on TBS, and it would be a damn shame to deprive the viewers and the fine folks of Hot Atlanta an ass whooping when it's right here, right for the picking. So if you feeling brave, son, make your move.
Daniel Garcia playing a dangerous game here. Mark Briscoe answers with a right hand, and Garcia being restrained by Marina and Yuta.
Mark should really punch Wheeler Yuta, too.
Yeah, that would be great. We'd all love that.
As Garcia having to be held back, but there will be no holding back. this Saturday afternoon, the early start time.
Reach for the sky,
Collision,
boy.
4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific, coast to coast. Collision. Winter is coming. Mark Briscoe looked to make the first defense of his TNT championship, but it will be against a former TNT champion in Daniel Garcia. Brian, who do you have in this one?
I've got Mark Briscoe all the way. I think Mark just showed right there. Daniel Garcia.
Wait a second. I'm sorry, Brian, to cut you off right now. Understand there's a situation developing backstage. We have cameras on site. The Triangle of Madness. Almost a mirror image of what we saw Saturday at Collision, Tony.
Yeah, they were beating up the locker room then. Oh, look at this!
They were the Triangle of Madness. They're trying to call out Statlander and Hayter this Saturday, but now Chris Statlander answers. Well, Chris Statlander taking on Sky Blue, the Julia Hart, the Sisters of Sin. The early start time for Collision winners coming coast to coast, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific this Saturday, TNT, HBO Max.
This is a tornado tag team match set for one fall. Introduced first today are 2/3 of the AEW World Trios Champions, Katsuyori Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs.
And there you see members of the Joe Ops Dojo.
Ops Dojo coming to the ring with Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs. As I mentioned earlier, a big night potentially for the Ops. This tag team match against what could be charitably described as mixed opposition. Two men that have very rarely ever found themselves on the same page before a few months ago. Wait a second. Hangman, he's not going from the entrance ramp. He's up. Hangman's up in the stands.
Yeah, Hangman's got that chain ready to go.
Well, Hangman's not the only one coming to the ring with the chain. Swerve the chain, and I believe the staple gun. Hangman and Swerve once again coming into a battle with the plan, and now Shibata and Hobbs are sitting in the Ops Dojo, streaming out into the crowd. Remember this. Oh, wait. Hangman, the right hand with a chain wrapped around his fist.
We had a tag team championship match earlier.
Swerve,
but this is
that staple gun.
My God, no tags here, guys.
Puncturing the Ops Dojo. Oh, repeatedly. Remember, this match can't officially begin until the competitors are inside the ring. But right now, Hangman and Swerve laying waste to the Ops Dojo.
And one guy's not going to take that shirt off for quite a while.
Katsuyori Shibata very nearly on the wrong end of the staple gun. Now Shibata's turn with the Shibata grabs for the first time ever in his career, wielding a staple gun as Hangman and Hobbs doing battle.
Well, we saw what Shibata did on Saturday, taking the legs out of Swerve. It was Joe that sent him in there.
And this is a wild scene that is playing out before this match has even officially begun, Brian.
This is crazy.
Brought up into the concourse. Powerhouse Hobbs and Hangman. Swerve and Shibata. Look at the Swerve choking Shibata. As Hangman gaining the upper hand on, but a low blow. Remember, the match, Tony, has not officially begun. Of course, this would not be legal in the Tornado Tag match, but right now, before the bell, it's almost anything goes.
Of course, you're exactly right. The call would have been bell ring, you got to get in the ring, but no bell. This is the fight before the match even starts.
Boy, Hangman's got Hobbs up on the shoulder, and Hobbs through the table on the concourse.
Give me a beer, give me a beer. Give that man a beer.
Hangman taking a little refreshment break, but meanwhile, Swerve and Shibata battling it out in front of the merchandise stand. And Shibata battering Swerve in that chair, and now Katsuyori Shibata building up momentum, and pulls up short and just kick to that chest, and a rough landing for Swerve Strickland. His first action since his injury, and fans, we're going to try to restore order as we stick with the action tonight. Dynamite is winter is coming. Don't go anywhere. I said try to restore order, Tony. Try to establish order.
Absolutely. They're chanting Swerve's house. Swerve's got Shibata. I thought he was going to try to walk down the steps with him, but he drops him on that rail. It's so dangerous, Brian, for all combatants to be this far up.
Dangerous for the combatants, dangerous for anybody who's kind of getting anywhere close to them. We saw Powerhouse Hobbs wielding that steel chair around audience members. There was that staple gun right near the crowd. I mean, this is a dangerous situation for everybody involved.
Shibata sitting to the...
Oh, look at this!
Hangman was about to send Hobbs over the railing. Shibata sent into that row of chairs, and now Swerve with Shibata seated in the chair. Turnabout, perhaps fair play.
Kind of wonder what Joe's thinking about all this. I know he's got that world title match coming up, but I mean, he's got members of the Ops, the Trios champs, right now in dire straits.
Swerve coming in. But Hobbs drops Hangman on those concrete stairs here.
Yeah, and Shibata hit hard on that concrete as well. He came spilling out of the chair, then hit his small of his back, and then his head.
Swerve sending Shibata over to the railing in the ringside area, but meanwhile, Powerhouse Hobbs dragging Hangman Adam Page down the steps when Hangman frees himself, a boot to the jaw. And Swerve pulling some lumber from underneath the ring, but right now, Hangman, right hand's raining down on the head of Powerhouse Hobbs. And Swerve, he's leaned a table against our announce desk.
Oh, brother. The animosity in this battle makes this table right in front of us very, very ominous place to be.
Hobbs sent over the barricade. Hangman in pursuit. Shibata set up on the table. We are live in Atlanta, Georgia. AEW Dynamite winter is coming. Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, the unlikely duo teaming up here tonight for this Tornado Tag Team match, of the match which has not officially begun. The bell has not yet rung. Shibata flying in with the boot, and now Hangman and Hobbs into the ring, and referee taking the chair out of the hands of Hangman. I mean, that would have been a disqualification, Brian, as odd as it seems after what we've all witnessed. It's still a Tornado Tag match. It's not a disqualification. It's not a no DQ match.
Yeah, what a Tornado Tag match means is that you don't have to tag in. All competitors are legal at all times, but you still have to adhere to the rules. You can't, in theory, you're not supposed to be able to use foreign objects, but we just saw them brawl all over the building.
I mean, crucially, Tony, it's because it all happened before the bell, before the match officially began.
Yeah, the bell that just sounded finally.
And the Ops taking advantage of that fact. A mental lapse, perhaps, by Hangman Adam Page. Hangman coming into this match I saw him backstage earlier today wearing the same cowboy boots he wore into the steel cage against Samoa Joe. Those boots covered in Samoa Joe's blood still. So Samoa Joe and the Ops very heavily in the memory of Hangman Adam Page, but Swerve Strickland, who after that bloody cage match made his surprise return, Brian. We'd known that Swerve, he'd underwent surgery earlier this year, but the timetable for return was unclear, but he's back, he's cleared, and he's ready to fight tonight.
He's back, and he seems to have come back with a new sense of purpose. He's got his sights set on the AEW World Championship. But what's interesting here is that, you know, he's teaming with Hangman Adam Page, and Hangman still wants that AEW World Championship as well.
You know, we're watching tonight what is great about AEW. Great matches in the tournament, one-on-one. Oh, no outside interference. A crazy match like this. New champions, first-time champions crowned. And then Samoa Joe and Eddie Kingston to cap it off. What a night.
It's our main event still to come tonight. Front Chancery suplex delivered by Katsuyori Shibata as the Ops going to work on Hangman Adam Page. Tremendous power slam by Hobbs. Shibata, the PK to follow it up.
I think Will Hobbs and Shibata really have to capitalize. They shouldn't be playing to the crowd right now. They should be capitalizing while Swerve's out, and they've got a 2-on-1 advantage on Hangman Adam Page.
We've seen Prince Nana, the manager of Swerve Strickland, running around ringside, checking on the condition of Swerve, who was sent over the barricade by Katsuyori Shibata in that high boot. Now Hobbs, just a right hand to the midsection. A devastating blow from an athlete with the strength of Powerhouse Hobbs, Brian.
Great punch from Will Hobbs. Just dropped the former two-time AEW World Champion, Hangman Adam Page. But what's Nana doing? This is not a smart move for him.
No, not at all. Stay out of there.
Nana needs to be careful, too, because he could get his side disqualified. But Swerve comes in, the high boot into the jaw of Powerhouse Hobbs.
Well, now it was a smart move. It got the diversion for Swerve to come in. Watch out!
Hangman Adam Page sends Hobbs crashing into our announce desk, and now Hangman returning Hobbs to the ring. Swerve, opposite side, returns Shibata to the ring. Hangman and Hobbs over the top to the floor. Meanwhile, Shibata quickly turning things around on Swerve Strickland. Shibata looking for the dropkick, but Swerve, hip toss, rolls through, transition into the brainbuster, perhaps. No, Shibata had it scouted with a sweep. Swerve anticipated it, caught the boot to the jaw on Shibata.
I was going to say Shibata is so quick, which he is, but I think Swerve maybe just a little bit quicker on that exchange especially.
Swerve in between the shoulder blades, and Brian, in his time off, he has most certainly put on some serious size, has Swerve Strickland, but he has not slowed down a step.
He looks as strong as ever. He's looking great here tonight.
Would be thinking house call, but Hobbs intervenes, dragging Swerve out to the floor. Powerhouse Hobbs and Swerve on one side of the ring. Hangman and Shibata. Hangman looking for the buckshot. Shibata anticipated. Oh, the low blow behind the referee's back.
Anything goes. That's another buckshot.
And now, looking for the cross arm breaker is Katsuyori Shibata. Hobbs was sent into the steps on the outside. Swerve. And Swerve in a sense of danger. Shibata. Swerve. Stomp.
Wow. Shibata saw it, Brian. Nothing he could do about it.
Nothing he can do about it. He was going for that armbar. He was trapped on the ground.
Shibata was locked in. He was dead set on getting that Jujigatame on Hangman Adam Page, and Swerve coming in with the stomp, the difference maker in this Tornado Tag Team match. Hobbs, after being sent into those steel ring steps, returning.
All four men just going toe-to-toe here.
Well, you know what, Brian? That's exactly what we expected I'm amazed, really, that this match even got back in the ring, aren't you? The way it started.
100%. And Powerhouse Hobbs just decked Shibata. Took a double rolling elbow from Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland.
We talk so much about the power of Hobbs, but great cardiovascular training as well. He can really go. Look at this. Double team.
450 from Swerve. Hangman up to his feet. A shot between the shoulder blades, and now Swerve leaps, drives down Powerhouse Hobbs.
How about this?
It's clear winter is coming when hell already seems to have frozen over. Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland are finally teaming up. This is incredible.
So much meaning in those eyes and those stares from either man. So much.
You want Powerhouse Hobbs trying to egg on, swerve it. Oh, wait a second. Hobbs through the table. And Hangman lining up. Shibata, boom, shot, lariat.
Hell, they're not done.
The house call connects. Swerve Strickland. 1, 2, 3.
Are your winners, the team of Hangman, Adam Page, and Swerve Strickland.
Hangman and Swerve getting on the same page, denying the Ox their first victory of the evening tonight as Josh Alexander, the Don Callis family, looking on. It will be Josh Alexander, Swerve Strickland one-on-one this Saturday, the early start time for Collision. Winter is coming, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific, and streaming now on all platforms. Swerve Strickland featuring Raekwon, the chef of the WU-TANG clan. Hit different.
Young Bucks, you stole my money. And you may think that because you've got possession of it somehow, that this is yours, that possession is 9/10 of the law, but it's not. You see, I am prepared to drag you through the courts and put you in the poorhouse to get my money back, but I would much rather get my pound of flesh. I have got all the best athletes. I've got Takeshita, I've got Okada, I've got Hechicero, which makes me think maybe you two idiots should find yourselves a partner. And in Manchester, let me get my pound of flesh and let's go 3-on-3. My man against you and a partner. Winner gets the $1 million. If your grow is set, accept.
Well, I have breaking news. It's been an interesting few weeks because the Bang Bang Gang, they've decided to be handsy with the AEW World Tag Team Championships and be handsy with the greatest tag team alive today, FTR. Well, last week, FTR and we had an epiphany. See, a lot of people believe that the world's most dangerous narcotic is on these streets. Well, that's a lie. The world's most dangerous narcotic is this camera, because it causes an addiction. Everyone in AEW, when they get in front of this camera, they believe that they are great. It causes an addiction where they believe that they deserve TV time. It causes an addiction where they believe that they deserve and can win a championship. Well, guess what, Austin Gunn? Guess what, Juice Robinson? Next week on Dynamite, Manchester, England, one of the biggest shows of the year, you will finally get that opportunity that you've been yearning and you've been begging for, because you will get a shot at the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And when FTR beats you, they're gonna cure you of that addiction. So, Bang Bang Gang, when you walk through customs at the end of Dynamite, you won't be able to declare those championships, but you will be able to declare that you're going to be at the back of the line and the back of the tag team division where you truly belong. Top guys out.
We're excited about a return to Cardiff this Saturday. Even more excited about our debut in Manchester 1 week from tonight.
This is a Gold League match in the Continental Classic set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. The introducer first from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing 177 pounds, Speedball Mike Bailey.
Speedball Mike Bailey sitting at the bottom of the table in the Gold League 2025 Continental Classic. But most importantly, 4 matches still in hand, counting this upcoming one. 12 potential points still in the offing for Speedball Mike Bailey.
12 points could get you in that, of course, the championship of the Gold League.
From Sydney, Australia, weighing 249 pounds, the Proto Star, Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher thus far has been perfect in his campaign in the 2025 Continental Classic, but let's head to ringside and Renee Paquette for an update on this match.
Kyle Fletcher has been a monster so far in the tournament, already leading the Gold League in 6 points. However, Speedball Mike Bailey only has 1 match under his belt, suffering a loss to Pac, meaning that tonight is do or die for him. Kyle Fletcher told me earlier today, with no lack of confidence, that the Continental Championship will not be leaving the Don Callis family.
Braggadocious as ever, Excalibur, and confident as ever.
Kyle Fletcher has, we mentioned 12 points. That is what Kyle Fletcher finished with last year in the 2025 Continental Classic. He finished at the top of the Blue League with 12 points. And Kyle Fletcher, he has said that he is intent on bettering that result. A perfect 5 wins, 15 points for Kyle Fletcher. The opportunity is before him here tonight, but the opposition, Speedball Mike Bailey, he's hungry, Brian.
Speedball Mike Bailey is super hungry. I talked to him a little bit earlier today. He told me he feels like this match is a must-win for him. Even against a very difficult opponent in Kyle Fletcher, he doesn't want to get off to an 0-2 start.
You see at the bottom of your screen the semifinals, the league finals, and the overall finals of the 2025 Continental Classic will take place on Saturday, December 27th, in Now Arena, Chicago, Illinois, AEWTIX.com, or on pay-per-view via HBO Max.
Well, last year, of course, you mentioned the 12 points by Kyle Fletcher. That was the most of any points of any wrestler in the tournament last year. So 12 points, as you mentioned, still available to Speedball Mike Bailey, and that can propel you right to the top.
Kyle Fletcher avoiding the early roundhouse kick from Speedball Mike Bailey.
I think that's what Mike Bailey should be focusing on, avoiding Kyle Fletcher's power and focusing on what he's best at, being a 4th-degree black belt in Taekwondo. He does such great damage with those kicks.
Now you see the standings at the bottom of your screen based on the result earlier tonight. Kazuchika Okada tied with Kyle Fletcher at the top of the table, 6 points each, but Kyle Fletcher could jump to 9. Oh, wait a second. The pinning predicament. Fletcher rounding the shoulders. And now the crucifix, the reversal. Kyle Fletcher could go up to 7, potentially 9 points here tonight. 1, 2. Is Fletcher able to kick out?
I like what Mike Bailey's doing here. He's regularly going for pinfall attempts.
Right.
At every opportunity.
Yep, that's the idea, right, Brian? You got to try to win this match. And I think another good move here is just staying in the ring, standing firm, letting Fletcher walk around.
I agree, Tony. I think that shows calmness and composure. Like I said, I talked to Mike Bailey earlier. He and Kyle Fletcher have actually only wrestled 1 time.
Wow.
One-on-one. And that was in 2018, a lifetime ago for somebody like Kyle Fletcher. But Mike Bailey won that match.
Some 6-7 years ago, as it were.
Yeah.
But it is at that point in his career, Kyle Fletcher primarily a tag team competitor. But now, since then, he has matured. He has blossomed into an exceptional singles athlete.
One of the best in the world. Everybody calls him a future world champion.
Well, he'll get another shot, there's no doubt.
Put to the midsection by Fletcher, and now hammering down on Speedball Mike Bailey.
You heard the fans. You know, Atlanta's been always a great wrestling city. Amazing environment we have here. And Kyle just playing into it. Look at him. Look at the fans.
Fletcher, that leaping stomp. Catching Bailey on the shoulder.
Kyle Fletcher so powerful, so explosive. Those stomps aren't just like the stomps of a normal man. Oh, but look at Mike Bailey. He's no normal man either.
Speedball showing his agility. Hurricanrana takes down Fletcher to the outside. Speedball lining him up. And Speedball through the rope. The Hurricanrana on the floor.
I think that time that Fletcher was expecting like a tope, but got something else.
And Speedball Mike Bailey, he's so adept at coming from unexpected angles. As Kyle Fletcher just found out, unfortunately, now Speedball. Oh, the crossbody intercepted.
Big mistake.
Fletcher drives down Bailey. A completely different animal than Speedball Mike Bailey faced in 2018, Brian.
100%. I'm not sure. Oh, is he going for a cover? No, he's not. I'm not sure there's any better wrestler on the planet right now at putting together combinations than Kyle Fletcher. The way he puts moves back to back is really impressive, especially for his age.
Fletcher, commanding lead here in this Gold League matchup, 2025 Continental Classic. Oh, the scoop and the slam, but Bailey slips free, launches the foot into the face of Kyle Fletcher. Now Bailey, drop kick off the middle rope.
His feet are his best weapon, and that's what put him back on offense right there.
His feet may be his best weapon, but his resilience is not far behind. Speedball Mike Bailey fighting his way back into this match. Saw the opening, made Fletcher pay the axe kick.
Yeah, get the big guy off the mat. That's what he's done. But now keep him down.
Now Speedball, shooting star press, nobody home. Fletcher looking for a brain buster. Bailey countered, knee strike to the crown of the head. Fletcher comes flying in. Too overzealous, pays the price as he spills to the floor. Now Speedball Mike Bailey. Holy cow! Tremendous move there by Speedball Mike Bailey. Thought he was going for the acai moonsault, but instead the tornado to the floor.
Great body control on this. Look at that. Once again, an angle you didn't expect him to hit with.
But Mike Bailey's got to get Kyle Fletcher in the ring.
Yes, sir.
Almost as if he heard you, Brian. Mike Bailey looking to press the attack, but Fletcher trying to create some distance between himself and the aggressor.
It's not bad. You know, you get some time on the outside.
Fletcher. Oh, Fletcher caught Bailey coming in with a thrust kick. And brainbuster blocked again by Bailey. Bailey some right hands to the ribs. And Fletcher deposited on top of the barricade as Bailey hammering down.
Fletcher may hit that left knee on top of that barricade. I'm not sure. If so, that could have an impact on this match.
Talk about having an impact. Speedball Mike Bailey. Oh, Fletcher grabs the ankle of Bailey. I think Bailey might have been thinking that knee drop. But
oh my God.
Fletcher.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Jeez! Kyle Fletcher destroys Mike Bailey as this match continues.
If Mike Bailey can continue, I would be shocked.
It's a huge if, Tony. A huge if.
Oh, he is hurting, man, and you know, I don't think he came down flush on that, did he?
No, I mean, look at his lower back, the small of his lower back. Oh, right on the edge.
Oh, yes. Oh, no. Oh, the left hip.
And you know, I've been getting your first points on the board in the Continental Classic. That's no easy task. I mean, this is not like cutting a handful of chives for strangers on the internet. This is hard work, and it's become that much harder for Speedball Mike Bailey after the slam against the barricade.
I'm telling you right now that Kyle Fletcher could win this by countout.
Rick Knox up to 8.
It might be better for Mike Bailey to
take the count out.
Yeah. I know he told me this was must win for him, but I mean,
it's a running punt by Fletcher. The leg is hooked, the cover's made, and Bailey just barely kicks out.
I mean, the only reason that kick out happened is because Kyle Fletcher did not put any pressure on Mike Bailey's left shoulder. You just saw he barely lifted his arm up.
Right. So that's showing, I think, arrogance from Kyle Fletcher, or maybe overconfidence. Maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. But, man, Mike Bailey, there he goes again.
Oh. I think this is a bad strategy from Kyle Fletcher. I mean, he's got his man hurt. End the match if you can.
He's trying to end Speedball Mike. Oh, look at that abrasion. Running parallel to the spine of Speedball Mike Bailey. As Fletcher now thinking perhaps brainbuster on the steps. But Speedball fighting with everything he's got to avoid it. Speedball leaps off the steps, but Fletcher is ready for him. Now Fletcher poised to lawn dart Speedball into the barricade, but Speedball! Reverse! Work and run on the floor!
I don't know where Speedball got that from, but damn! How about that?
Referee Rick Knox checking this time now on Kyle Fletcher, trying to see if the lights are on for both competitors.
Speedball needed to turn it around, and he just did it.
Both Fletcher and Bailey on the crawl. Both men back into the ring. What a battle that is unfolding. 3 points are on the line in an increasingly physical battle in the 2025 Gold League of the Continental Classic. 10 minutes, heavy lapsed on the clock. 10 more remain. Remember, there is absolutely no outside interference. 3 points to the winner, 1 point to both men in the event of a draw, 0 points for a loss. And during the break, this is the slam against the barricade. And there you see the abrasion, the evidence of the physicality of this war. What these men are fighting for, 3 points in the Continental Classic.
Yes, and you think it's unbelievable that Speedball is standing? I agree with you. But he is standing, holding on to that top rope, but he is still on his feet.
Bailey avoiding the half and half on the ring apron, and now delivers the knee drop to Fletcher.
Come on, kid, roll him in the ring.
How was he able to do that with his back in the condition that it's in now after taking that body slam on the barricade?
Here we see another look. Speedball Mike Bailey. Wow. Just full force, the knee drop on the chest of Kyle Fletcher, but the wince on Bailey's face right there, Brian, I think says a lot.
And he keeps his hand going back to that lower back. I mean, he's having a hard time even standing. Look at the way he's standing with his back arched.
He's not the only one having problems standing as well.
Speedball lunging in with that boot underneath the jaw, looking for that flamingo driver. Something that he keeps in his back pocket, almost a break in case of emergency for Speedball Mike Bailey.
Well, didn't go for it.
It's Bailey now with Fletcher. Corona out of the corner, and now Bailey on the move. He's got Fletcher down. Bailey steals himself on the top. Shooting star press, but Fletcher got the feet up into the face of Speedball. And now Fletcher, the dart into the middle buckle. Fletcher moving with purpose here. Power bomb. 1, 2, 3. No!
Can't believe that Speedball's still in this thing. Can't believe it.
misses. He's hurt too. I don't think Kyle Fletcher can believe Mike Bailey just kicked out.
That should have been it right there, Excalibur, but it wasn't.
This crowd in Atlanta coming unglued for this match. We talked about the primary weapon of Speedball Mike Bailey, the kicks, but the resilience, the perseverance on display fully here. And Kyle Fletcher, perhaps the fatigue of getting 6 points, of leading the Gold League in the Continental Classic, catching up with him. And there you see the bottom of your screen, semifinals and the championship final. The Continental Classic coming up at World's End Live on pay-per-view. Saturday, December 27th, Now Arena, Chicago, Illinois. AEWTIX.com or on pay-per-view via HBO Max. Bailey and Fletcher now exchanging massive shots.
Yeah, I'm surprised Mike Bailey is going chops and not kicks here.
Maybe he can't raise his legs like he wants to, Brian, because of his back.
Yeah, that's a great point, Tony.
Oh, Bailey holding himself open. Trying to invite the contact. No.
Oh, got the leg up. Whoa.
Half and half delivered by Fletcher. And now Fletcher on the move. Bailey with a counter. 1, 2, no! Bailey, the miss with a kick, the miss with a moonsault, the sweep avoided by Fletcher. Fletcher powerbomb, no, Bailey to his feet, duck underneath. Bailey crucifix, changes tack. Fletcher rolling through. Fletcher hoists up Bailey. Look at
5 minutes remaining in this match.
The raw power by Fletcher. 15 minutes have elapsed. Bailey, Hurricanrana, 1, 2.
No, the hand was almost on the mat.
PK by Bailey. The knee drop connects once again.
How is Mike Bailey able to do this?
It's amazing.
What an incredible performance. Great head kick.
The cover. 2. No, Fletcher somehow kicks out. And now it's Fletcher's resilience on display.
Men are just staggering.
Bailey creates distance. Could be looking for that time. Adventure! He connects. Fletcher collapses. Bailey covers. 1, 2, 3. No! Fletcher! Fletcher remains atop the table with 6.
You could see from that angle, if Fletcher was going to get out of it, he was going to shoot the left shoulder straight up, and he did.
Guys, what is it going to take to beat Kyle Fletcher in this tournament? I mean, last year, Kyle Fletcher just barely missed the final, making it all the way to the semifinal. He seems even more determined to win this one.
Fletcher determined to better his result from last year. Oh, he knocked his block off.
But he's getting back up.
And Bailey answers the thrust kick. Back heel kick. Fletcher staggers to the corner.
Oh, my God!
And now Bailey looking for the ultimate weapon. Bailey. 1, 2. No, Fletcher. Somehow.
You have to be kidding me.
What a freaking night we are having.
Somehow, Kyle Fletcher, Brian, that will, that drive to better his 12 points from last year on display.
Yeah, this crowd on their feet as Kyle Fletcher seems even more determined this year to mow over everyone in his path. Look at this. I can't believe he kicked out.
He's too strong, Brian. Fletcher just too strong.
Brian, the only thing that I think, well, wait a second, Bailey. Eyeing Fletcher on the floor. Bailey. Nobody home on the floor.
Oh, my God.
The powerbomb against the apron. Fletcher moving with alacrity here. The clock rapidly becoming an issue. Fletcher. Center. Drop. Brainbuster. 1, 2. No!
What? We got to be near the end of this thing.
Fletcher, like myself, like Bryan Danielson, like this sold-out crowd in Atlanta thought that was it. But Speedball Mike Bailey had other designs. Fletcher was looking. The top rope brainbuster. Wait a second, the reversal. Bailey, the reversal. 1, 2. Oh, Fletcher breaks free. Larry to tap block kick. Block both men, right hands. Lariat from Fletcher rocks Bailey. And, oh no, Bailey slips free.
1 minute remaining.
Wait a second here. 1, 2, 3. Bailey takes it. Bailey takes it.
At the 1 minute mark. At the 1 minute mark.
Mike Bailey.
Unbelievable. Speedball Mike Bailey puts his first 3 points on the board in the Gold League in the 2025 Continental Classic. And Kevin Knight, his partner, but soon to be his opponent in the Continental Classic, coming to celebrate, and Kyle Fletcher is stunned.
It was a stunning buzzer beater. Less than a minute to go, and his first point, there it is, Excalibur.
Mike Bailey on the board with 3 points, but Kazuchika Okada and Kyle Fletcher remain tied at the top of the table with 6 points each. Wow, what a match. And fans, you are watching All Elite Wrestling on TBS, brought to you by Progressive Insurance, offering 24/7 protection when you bundle home, auto, and motorcycle. You can learn more right now at Progressive.com.
Hangman Adam Page, tonight at Winter is Coming. It seems like hell has truly frozen over as you have teamed with Swerve Strickland. What is next for you?
What is next for me? What is next for me is a thing that has always been next for me. The All Elite Wrestling Men's World Championship. Joe, Eddie, I will be watching tonight. But regardless of who leaves champion tonight, at World's End, I am coming for you, and I am coming for my World Championship.
So I guess it's official then, huh? Next week in Manchester, Don Callis family versus the Young Bucks in trios action for all the money. The only problem is, we need a partner.
What do you say, big man, huh? Yeah, you're probably right, huh?
Good point. Time. Good point.
There he is.
Hey, man. So, what do you say, we do this one more time?
One more time. What do you mean?
There's a lot of money on the line, man.
You're right. It's a lot of money, but I don't want the money. This is about Don Callis and his family. Hell, I'll do it for free. So next week, it's as simple as that. The Elite against the Don Callis family. All your precious money on the line, Don. So, tune in, be there or be squared, must bid you adieu and all that stuff. See you in Manchester. Goodbye, mwah, and good night. Bang!
Wow, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks 1 week from tonight. Dynamite and Manchester facing the Don Callis family.
Atlanta, Georgia! Your main event tonight's number one fall is for the AEW World Championship! Introducing the challenger from Yonkers, New York, weighing 244 pounds, Eddie Kingston!
Eddie Kingston coming into this match with a distinct sense of purpose. It's not just about the AEW World Championship for him. It's about Samoa Joe betraying his roots, about selling out, in Eddie Kingston's words.
A lot of times it's about being hot. Eddie Kingston unbeaten since his return from the injury. Let's see if he can keep it going and get that strap around his waist.
And his opponent, from Huntington Beach, California, weighing 310 pounds, he is an AEW World Trios Champion and the reigning and defending AEW World Champion, Samoa Joe!
Brian, you and I have both crossed paths inside the ring with Samoa Joe, albeit at very different stages of his career. For me, it was in Joe and my first handful of matches, and he was a brute. He was relentless. He was a force of destruction. And even though you wrestled him a number of years later, I believe all those same attributes would apply to Joe.
Joe has been that way his entire career, probably his entire life. I mean, he was a bouncer. He played football in college. He's always been somebody who wasn't afraid to fight. But Eddie Kingston's somebody who's not afraid to fight either.
And that's what it takes to go against Samoa Joe. Do not back down at all. You know Eddie Kingston will not, Brian.
Eddie Kingston promises us the fight of it, that he's going to give the fight of his life here.
And Eddie Kingston marching forward, trying to occupy the center of the ring, but now ceding a bit of ground to Samoa Joe. Some probing with the hands and feet by both men. Now the collar and elbow tie-up. Joe grinding that bone of his wrist into the eye of Eddie Kingston. Kingston doing likewise. These two men, well-traveled veterans. Nearly 5 decades of combined experience for both men.
Big fight feel for this match tonight.
Tony, when we began the broadcast tonight, we said winter's coming. Typically one of the biggest nights of the year for AEW, and this has not disappointed.
This has been a night that we will never forget on many, many levels. No doubt.
Oh, wait. Hook.
Yeah.
Right on the boot.
You got to be kidding me. Get Hook out of here.
Yep. There you go.
Doing the right thing. Ejecting Hook from ringside.
Let's not forget how instrumental Hook was in Joe becoming world champion.
And let's not forget that AEW World Championship match is 60-minute time limit. We are going to stick with the action as long as it takes. We just have one more break to come. From there on out, it is all action here tonight on Dynamite. Winter is coming.
I love this. This is going to be one-on-one. Exactly what we want to see for the AEW World title.
Side headlock taken by Eddie Kingston, but Joe, Kingston doing a good job squeezing down the vice-leg grip, slowing Joe down, Brian.
And grinding his forearm into Joe's eye socket. But look at Joe.
Backdrop suplex, and Eddie a bit beleaguered here early on. Not a place you want to be against an athlete like Samoa Joe.
And look at Joe just stalking him right now. Yep, coming in with those jabs, those vicious jabs. Nobody in pro wrestling throws a jab quite like Samoa Joe.
And hammering down the point of his elbow into the crown of the head of Eddie Kingston. No pun intended.
Look at Eddie rise back up. I mean, right now he's just pulling himself up, but he's trying to get to his feet. I've never seen anyone like Eddie Kingston in all my years in wrestling. Just such determination.
Eddie Kingston, who won the inaugural AEW Continental Classic in a tremendous effort. Many people counted him out, Brian. I think yourself included. But Kingston proved that he can rise to the occasion.
Well, people like me have been really hard on Eddie Kingston over the years. Oh, but look at him now!
Well, this main event match, we'll get back to that thought in a moment. This main event match continues. Don't go anywhere.
Our last break.
Brian, you know Eddie Kingston probably as well as I do. Eddie Kingston is somebody that the potential that exists within is almost drowned out sometimes by his self-doubt. And he needs that pep talk. He needs those harsh words sometimes to draw it out of him. Has Samoa Joe drawn that out of Eddie Kingston here tonight?
I mean, he might have. I mean, sometimes that's what Eddie needs. I mean, I've never seen him more fired up than when I called him the king of the bums. And he just embraced it, and he fought back like his life depended on it. That's what he's going to need to do tonight against Samoa Joe.
A neck crank on Samoa Joe. As Joe forced to back up to the ropes.
Yeah, that really hurt Joe.
It's rare you see Samoa Joe use a rope break like that, Tony.
Yeah, you're right, Excalibur. That surprised me. Maybe Eddie found a weakness. I'm not so sure.
Chop to the chest, Joe. Walking it off.
Well, Eddie Kingston is one of the few people on planet Earth who can stand there and go toe-to-toe with Samoa Joe.
You say that, but Kingston wilting a little bit.
But look.
They're just giving him open targets here. Look at this.
That one caught Eddie. Both men swinging for the fences here.
Oh, that one might have got Eddie Kingston in the throat.
And that's the trouble with these exchanges, Brian. You leave yourself open, and a shot across the windpipe, that could be extremely debilitating.
Yeah, a shot across the windpipe. I mean, that'll make it hard to breathe, but look at that. How many times have you seen Samoa Joe dropped by a single chop? I can't remember a single time.
Eddie Kingston swinging hard, dropping the AEW World Champion to the mat. Kingston invoking the name of Terry Funk. Bringing up the point that is the anniversary from when Funk won the World Championship. Kingston, how meaningful it would be for him, Tony, to do it on the anniversary.
It's one of his idols, if not his biggest idol. Funk was magnificent, and Eddie Kingston is relentless.
AEW Dynamite Winter is coming live on TBS HBO Max. I'm Excalibur, joined by Tony Schiavone, Bryan Danielson, and we are in the middle of a slugfest for the AEW World Championship. The challenger, Eddie Kingston, battering the champion, Samoa Joe, but do not count Joe out yet.
No body blows, there you go. Change levels on that one.
That was great. He went to the body, went to the head, dropped Samoa Joe with that uppercut.
Keep him down now. Eddie's got to keep the big man, the champion, down. But can he do it? Look at Joe rising up.
Joe trying to rise up, and this is the first night of a huge week of Winter is coming. Remember this Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific. Early start time, coast to coast for Collision. Winter is coming, and this match just made official. Claudio Castagnoli, Konosuke Takeshi, Blue League action in the Continental Classic. The CMLL World Heavyweight Champion for the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Right now, Eddie Kingston just decked the AEW World Champion.
What a slugfest we're seeing here tonight for the AEW World Championship.
Both men exchanging bombs, and thus far, Tony, Eddie Kingston getting the better of Samoa Joe.
Rising up to the chance of Eddie. Eddie from the sellout crowd here tonight.
I talked earlier before the break about how many people like myself included, have been hard on Eddie Kingston over the years. But what we saw was incredible, unrealized talent, but we failed to look at what's right in front of us, and that's his incredible heart. He talked earlier tonight about how he doesn't know how many other times he's going to get a shot at the World Championship. This might be the last one. He's giving it everything he's got. But he's in there against a tank in Samoa Joe. Look at this. Look at Joe's control.
Bryan attempting to get off his feet. Did you see that kick?
Unbelievable.
Enziguri, and now Samoa Joe running through the boot scrape, through the ropes, delivered with authority by Samoa Joe.
But look at Joe just hanging on the top rope.
And look at Eddie Kingston grabbing his nose, maybe his eye, I'm not sure.
Bryan very easily could have broken the nose of Eddie Kingston, lunging through the ropes with the flat of his boot like that.
To be fair, it wouldn't be the first time Eddie Kingston broke his nose. He's been in plenty of fights.
Both in the ring and out, sometimes in classrooms, sometimes in streets. Eddie Kingston doesn't care where he has to fight, but he will fight with pride. He will fight with honor. He will fight with all of his heart, like he is doing here tonight in our main event.
That's why the fans love him. They can identify with Eddie. Right to the core, right to the heart. That's what Eddie's got. And you mentioned earlier, we have taken our last break. Excalibur staying with this 60-minute time limit world title, long as it takes.
Eddie Kingston still throwing hands.
Joe, though, answering the chops with an elbow strike. Now Kingston digs deep, 2 chops, a lariat, but Joe stays on his feet. A second lariat, but Joe remains upright. Kingston.
Be careful here.
A third. Power slam. The leg is hooked. The cover's made. And Kingston kicks out.
You know, I can see that coming because Joe was dangling almost as if he was playing possum that time, wanting Eddie to hit the rope. See that? Oh, Joe.
Bryan, the hips of Samoa Joe, the control, that enziguri, followed up by that power slam in such quick succession. He moves with the poise, the agility of a man half his size.
It's unbelievable how well Samoa Joe moves at his size. And to be able to snap a power slam like that, rotate a man over, and now just these insulting knees to the jaw.
It's awoken something in Eddie Kingston. 3 lariats, but Joe now battering the face of Kingston with the knees. Joe, though, those kicks, the toe of his boot into the face of Eddie Kingston, already damaged face of Eddie Kingston. Joe on the move, but now Kingston. Oh, exploder from Kingston!
Cover him now!
1, 2, oh
no! Look at this. Boom, dropped him right down on his head.
This crowd willing on Eddie Kingston, the challenger. They want to see the coronation. They want to see the king earn his crown. But Samoa Joe plants Kingston, and now Joe. The STF is cinched in. Kingston
biting Samoa Joe's thumb.
Kingston frees himself from the STF. Both men up to their feet. Oh, the DDT! That's how he beat Shibata, but Joe very deftly rolls out of the ring. Either by happenstance or by strategy, either way, it prevented Kingston from making the cover.
It was a smart move, and now Eddie knows it. Eddie's going to try to get Joe back in the ring.
That's a challenging task in its own right with how big Joe is. Eddie managed to do it.
Kingston has the high ground, the advantage on our AEW World Champion, and now could be looking to land the Hurricane, the spinning backfist. Joe is ready for it.
Yeah, he blocked it, had the hands up.
The headbutt, the lariat, chop down. Eddie, the cutter. Joe on roller skates here. Kingston.
Here comes.
The Hurricane, no. Joe, Kikina clutch. Kikina clutch. Joe is ready for it. Kingston is locked in. And Eddie, the hand on the forearm.
Eddie fighting with all his might.
But Eddie, he's fading. Kingston taps out.
The winner of this match, and still AEW World Champion, Samoa Joe.
Tremendous counter wrestling by Samoa Joe, anticipating the Hurricane, locking in the Kikina clutch, and you know that has to eat Kingston up inside to tap out to Samoa Joe.
Well, Eddie wanted the real Samoa Joe. He got the real Samoa Joe.
Boy, we've got a lot more to come. Excalibur, an early start Saturday afternoon, and then 3 hours next Wednesday from Manchester.
And it is official for the Holiday Bash 1 week from tonight. $1 million on the line. The Elite, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega versus Hechicero. Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada plus FTR put their AEW World Tag Team Championship on the line against the Bang Bang Gang next Wednesday night from Manchester, England. As Samoa Joe leaves, winner is coming as the AEW World Champion still. And the next Wednesday night, Dynamite Diamond Ring, Battle Royal, all of that and so much more live from Manchester.